Hello there, I'm Boo, or Jamie, and I like drawing, maximizing my hours in all the Pokemon games to find shinies, and I like to complain about lore in World of Warcraft. Hello, and welcome back to a very special episode. Because, as you all know, we are usually an engineer. And I have also already skilled a lot of engineering. But I thought, you know what, guys? We're gonna do a different profession. I know. I'm also, hands are shaking. I'm not okay, but I'm gonna do it for you guys. And also because I'm absolutely ready to do something new with this character that we haven't done with the other characters. So, without further ado... Ooh, that hurt. And yeah, we're also gonna do this. No more mining notes for us. I know, it's almost the end of an era, but don't worry, I have trillion of other characters that still have to mine every day. Ooh. Alrighty, here we are, and you will never guess what our new professions are going to be, because I thought something that I really like to do, which is mostly this entire channel's MO, me doing stuff that I like to do, is the tailoring profession, because this is a profession that is very relaxing to do and to skill. And also, yes, I came to my favorite horde city, even though I love Silver Moon to death, and I also don't think, like someone on Twitter said, it's just an alliance city, because it totally isn't. I don't know what part of the alliance you belong to, but I don't think the alliance has anything as pretty as Silver Moon, just saying. But Undercity Man, this is where it's at. And also, yep, we are wearing a new attire, and later I will go through all the pieces and how you can obtain them. But for now, let's learn tailoring. Kapow. And also let's try not to learn Cataclysm tailoring immediately as well. Alrighty, we did the first thing. Now, the cool thing is that tailoring is a profession that has tons and tons and tons of recipes from all the different expansions that you get from fractions, from vendors, from drops, and it has a lot more variety than engineering. I love engineering to death, really, it's my favorite profession, but tailoring, since it's also creating a lot of armor, obviously also gives you a lot of transmog. So you just saw me buy some recipes that are sold by Millie Gregorian? Millie. You saw me buy stuff from Millie. And this we can basically do with almost every vendor all across the world, because almost everywhere we're gonna find some recipes. And honestly, for someone like me who likes to collect stuff, this is so much fun. First, let's kick these out of our action bars and let's welcome home a long lost child. Now, we have a little bit of cloth. On our account. Usually, I would do something that looks like this. I would go to my guild bank and I will click on the guild vault, and then I would see the tons and tons of cloth that you just saw from my alcoholic, but it's the second day after a patch, so I cannot access our guild bank. I cannot access it on this character, I can't access it on any other character. Relogging, turning all my add-ons off, none of it works. Also, I cannot promote anyone in the guild. People in the guild don't really show up. I don't know what they broke, but they definitely broke something. I haven't read anything in any of the blue posts yet, but we will just have to deal with that for now. The good thing about tailoring is that cloth is very much available all the time, everywhere. You also get a buff as a tailor that you just get more drops than all the other kits. And I don't know why I'm running here in a circle, even though the auctioneers are down here. Getting your materials is always cheap, as you can see. This is all you need, mostly. And even if you don't agree with the prices, you can just go out there and farm, because it's super easy to farm cloth, trust. Now, the reason why tailoring is so goddamn easy is not only because of the material costs that I just talked about, but because of something different. With the rework of the professions that Blizzard did with BFA, they also removed the secondary profession that was first aid, and they put it into tailoring. Now, the cool thing about that is that you can learn bandages now, and these bandages are basically your go-to route if you want to level tailoring quickly. Now, Obviously, you can still level tailoring the old way, doing a lot of bolts out of all the different cloths and creating gear and doing all these things. And we will do part of these things, but also we're gonna do the speed route, which is just leveling through creating bandages because it's cheap, it's fast, and after we just jump through all of the hoops to get one achievement for engineering, this is gonna feel insane, trust. So as you can see here, we can create bolts of lion cloth, and like I said, don't worry, we're gonna do that at some point, but because these materials are so cheap, we're not gonna do it now, because what you can also click on are linen bandages, and as you can see, you only need one for one bandage. Now we're just gonna click on this because we can do this all the way up to 300, not with linen bandages, but with all the other bandages as well. And we're gonna stay here with Mary Edras because she's gonna be able to teach us all the bandages that we need to become a classic tailoring master. Now, I'm gonna spare you the details because this is basically all you need to get the full 300 points for classic tailoring, and it's gonna continue like this for most of the other tailoring expansions as well. There are a few expansions that take a different route and approach, and like I said, don't you worry, we're also gonna do some usual tailoring because all of this is only half of the fun. And yes, by the way, obviously, welcome to another profession video. I hope you are well seated because this is going to take some time. But we're gonna go through many expansions because the cool thing about this is I don't really have to farm anything. I can mostly go to the auction house to get my materials. And I'm gonna share a few tips and tricks that I've picked up over the years about this really nice and really relaxing profession. Alright, and we're gonna continue with wool bandages, and I think I'm gonna see you guys again when we're close to hitting 300 skill points. You know what I really love about the new profession windows? The only thing I can see of my characters are her butt cheeks, and yes, I like that, but also may I just remember you have a time where I could see my character model, and I know I can just click this and then I can see her, but why isn't the profession window this big to begin with? Why is it like this? I don't need to see this, even though it's beautiful, illustration all the time. I would rather see my character, alright? I would like to see her in a full glory. Please, Blizzard, just let me resize these windows. Can I just say that skilling tailoring in Undercity is, you know, the vibes are immaculate. This is the place to be. Alright, guys. 8 more skill points and then we're done. I'm gonna switch to heavy rune cloth bandages just to make sure that we get a skill point for every bandage we create. And boom! I think this took me like 7 minutes and also working from the start. Oh, obtain 300 skill points in a classic category, 2 primary professions. I see. None too shabby, Lily. Alright, now that we have finally made it to 300 classic tailoring, you know what we're gonna do now, right? It's gonna be fun, especially for my gold purse, because now we're gonna go to Joseph Gregorian. Ah, they're a family. And now we're gonna try our best not to click on Cataclysm Tailoring while we're learning every single recipe that we have missed because we have just zoomed through 300 skill points. And now, even though we could also just learn Cataclysm Tailoring, we are gonna do something else now, but before we do that, I have to find an Undercity Guardian, because even though I love this city, do you know what a round city does to my orientation? Yeah, it doesn't really help. Let's put it that way. First of all, now we're gonna sell all of our bandages. Thank you very much for your service. Yep, you guessed it. The perfect second profession that fits perfectly with tailoring if you don't want to pick up just some gathering profession for one of your other characters is obviously enchanting. Because the thing with enchanting is that with tailoring as your first pick or second pick, either way how you look at it, you basically create your materials yourself. I mean, for the most part. Now, enchanting is relatively easy peasy lemon squeezy as well, for the most part, if you want to level it up. The first thing you do with enchanting is not really skilling like this, but you need to disenchant stuff. And the cool thing about Enchanting is that they changed it so for the first, I think, 25 skill points of every enchanting sub-part in all the expansions, you get skill points for disenchanting stuff. So you can probably already guess what we're gonna do now. We're gonna create a bunch of bolts, and then we're gonna look through our little book and scroll down here to bracers, because bracers are usually the cheapest things to do. Bracers, belts, and hands usually fit in the category. We're gonna create a bunch of green linen bracers, then we're gonna disenchant them. And thankfully for you, you won't have to sit through all of that, because with the power of editing, I'm gonna zoom you right to the point where I have created all of these green linen bracers. So see you in just a bit. Alrighty, while we were making all these bracers, I also got the achievement Quite the Quilt for 1000 creations with the tailoring profession. These achievements they added in the last patch or the patch before that, and just when they added it, I was done with leveling through tailoring, and these achievements don't work the other way around. So I think we're gonna get a few achievements now that I'm picking up some professions that I haven't really done in quite some time. So that's nice. And now also I flew to the wrong quarter, but now I remember the tailoring trainer is in the magic quarter and the enchantment trainer is in the apothecarium. I don't know. It's very confusing that they didn't, put the enchantment trainer in the magic quarter, but whatever. Well, now our inventory looks like this. For now, we just want to disenchant stuff, and also to disenchant stuff, we will need a runed copper rod. Now we can disenchant, and well, how I like to disenchant is I put disenchanting on a hotkey. In this case, it's the F, and then I just do this little dance, which you probably are very well known to if you've ever skilled enchanting. I've looked it up. As far as I know, there is no way to speed this up except for with the improved speed that you get in Dragonflight for the professions. There is still no way of creating a box where you can just throw in all the stuff that you would disenchant, and then you click on the box and then stuff comes out. Something like that. They could have easily done that, especially after they've created the item scrapper in BFA. I thought that that would be the prototype, and later they would make the enchanter's life a lot easier. I know that they have already made it easier to mass enchant stuff, and that's really cool, but the disenchanting in World of Warcraft, man, that could really use some work. For now, I'm gonna disenchant all this stuff, and I'm mostly doing this to, show you the true enchanter experience. I gotta be honest, I'm gonna later look up how expensive the enchantment mats are in the auction house, because sometimes these materials are cheaper than the stuff you need to create stuff to disenchant. Don't ask me why, but we're gonna see each other again when I have created a few materials for us to skill with. Look at me just watching my character do stuff without any profession window in the way. My lord, she's so gorgeous. Alrighty, we are back. We have a lot of strange dust, and now one of the few but at least existing quality of life changes to enchanting. You can now put your optional target below something that you want to enchant, and as you can see here, I can put in my bracers, and of course, let's enchant our bracers. Let's fucking do it. And now I can also use the enchanting vellum. When I started World of Warcraft, I didn't know this item exists. I thought that you would always need like white items to enchant them, and you would always have to click the yes, I want to enchant it again button. But no, there is this item that you can just now, with I think Dragonflight for the first time, put into this optional target section, and then you just press enchant all, and then you can watch your character, because you can minimize this, enchant for the next 10 million hours all these vellums. So we're gonna do that for a bit. Oh yeah, enchantment 1. We created, wait, How many things did we create? 100! Also, I'm just using up all the strange dust and lesser magic essences I have right now, because as soon we're gonna need new materials. And even though I love it here in Undercity, I think I'm gonna go to a quick trip to Orgrimmar, because I think if the old noggin is still functioning correctly, that there we're gonna find another recipe that we're gonna need to skill enchanting. Because, like I said, basically all of the vendors all over Azeroth have many, also sometimes unique recipes for you. And sometimes it's better to look for them if you want to skill, because most of the time with almost every profession, you have recipes that you can only buy from vendors and not from your profession trainer that will make skilling a lot easier. Oh yeah. Enchantment, lesser intellect, and lesser mana. I don't know if these are the recipes that I was looking for, but I'm gonna buy and learn them anyway. And let's see. Yeah, I think that was exactly what I was looking for. And now imagine I would be able to pick up the 150 light illusion dust from our guild bank. But sadly, I broke World of Warcraft's most important rule, which is never play on patch day or in the week after it. I guess. Well, whatever. We're gonna make do without it. I mean, that's kinda cheap. That's kinda easy. Don't mind me just buying stuff real quick. If you do not want to go the short route to the auction house, obviously you can also get this once again from your tailoring profession without any hassle. You might want to look at which items from which item level upwards give you light and rich illusion dust, because these are the higher materials, obviously. They're higher than stranger dust. Blizzard simplified all of the enchanting skilling a lot, the classic enchanting, which is really cool. If I would have to guess, I would think that all the mage weave items give you illusion dust, but I'm not 100% sure. So if you want to get this yourself without the auction house, then either just try it out, like create one of these items and disenchant it and see what comes out of it, or obviously wowhead it. Wowhead knows everything. Alright, never mind. Through some magic, I am able to get to the guild bank again. So let's see, where is all the enchantment stuff? There it is. Well, since I know that I'm the one who put it on here, I can also take it off again. Oh, it's lagging. Oh yeah, the guild bank is also lagging like crazy, and I also don't know what that is all about. But yeah, we're gonna see each other again once I have skilled a little bit more, and obviously I'm also able to get stuff from the guild bank again. All right, we're 158 points in, and well, what can I say? We're gonna enchant some more stuff. Skilling enchantment is really not that exciting, especially not the classic version, because a lot of it is just finding the right recipe that you need that will give you the most skill points for the least amount of materials, which is what we are doing right now. The craziest thing about it is that I just learned stamina, which needs 5 light illusion dusts, but a few skill points later I learned strength, and strength just needs 1 light illusion dust. I mean, from a roleplay aspect, it kind of makes sense, because maybe I just got so good in my profession that I now know how to do this with even less materials. That's at least what I'm thinking I'm doing here. Alright guys, last few skill points. We can do it. Ta-da! This time, sadly, no achievement, because, well, we already got that achievement. And now, well, this is not going to be something that I'm gonna do now, but I just wanted to show you guys, there are so many recipes for enchanting, and most of them are from dungeons or raids or locked chests and stuff like that. And I'm really looking forward to discover some of these with you guys together. Maybe we can do one of our world tours where we're just looking for hidden recipes, if you guys are interested in that. I mean, obviously, running all dungeons and raids also always results in a lot of fun stories and a lot of transmog, and I have a feeling you guys are here for that. But for now, we're gonna jump onto our spectral wind rider that Blizzard was so very kind to put onto the trading post, thank you very much. And we're gonna fly through the dark portal once again, because, like I already teased in the beginning of the video, we can really do more than just classic tailoring and classic enchanting in one video. I mean, at least the tailoring part is fairly easy. So we're gonna do a little bit of Burning Crusade tailoring as well. And And while we're walking through my favorite fraction in Shatrat, I'm gonna talk you through my transmog, just like I promised at the beginning of the video, and then maybe I kind of forgot about because I got so caught up in tailoring and enchanting just being very cozy. Well. This is truly a lot of different stuff put together. We're still wearing the Twilight's hammer. Just like I said last episode, you can get this from Shogal in the Bastion of Twilight, a Cataclysm raid. Don't ask me where I got that offhand. I think it's some form of end reward for some end zone. I'm clueless. What I know, however, is the chest, the belt and the shoes are part of the normal set of the mage from Antoros. The hands that I'm wearing are part of the warlock set that you get if you just create a warlock. The shoulders are from TBC dungeons. I think they drop in multiple TBC dungeons. The legs are still the same ones we've been wearing for quite some time now. And the head, it is a hood that is pulled down, and these drop from various Legion dungeons. And the set that belongs to this hood in general also looks very nice, so maybe also check that one out. It has very cool shoulders, by the way. Obviously, I also chopped off our hair because otherwise it would have clipped all over the place. And now we're gonna go, as always, to our favorite place in TBC, which is the Scryer Library. First, we're gonna learn Outland Enchanting, and then we're gonna learn Outland Tailoring. And thankfully, over here, there should also be, bandages recipes, and you already know what's going to happen now. We're gonna create a few bandages. Oh, you think I would stop creating these heavy nether weave bandages just because they turned green? Oh yeah, there we go. That was really exhausting, really exhausting. I have to relax now, learn the few recipes that you can actually learn. Because with BC, once again, yeah, you just saw that correctly. We skilled through an entire BC and we got 6 recipes for our troubles. That sadly is correct because in BC everything is built upon the fact that you learn a lot of recipes from the fractions. That's also something why I decided to do tailoring with one of the characters, because with a profession like that, it actually makes sense to level up all the reputation of the different fractions and outlands, because then we're gonna get so many more recipes. You have no idea. I mean, you probably have an idea, but I just wanted to mention that. And now what we're gonna do is exactly what we did with the classic enchanting, because as you can see here, we still have some leftover materials from previous enchanting adventures, but once they've run out, I will probably just disenchant stuff that I've created with my tailoring profession, and that will be a reoccurring trend. 1 gold for 1 arcane dust. That is kind of expensive, my guys. So for now, I'm just gonna create bracers, a lot of netherweave bracers, and then I'm gonna disenchant them, obviously. And this time, I don't think we will hit, well, I know that we won't hit 75 in enchanting right from the get-go, because with Outlands it's gonna take a little bit more elbow grease than it does with classic, but I'm definitely gonna start and I'm gonna show you where we're gonna end up with the stuff we can just create from the get-go. Alrighty, you guys, let's get some major versatility. And if I scroll down here, I can already see, for example, the Void Shatter. I can learn from the Shattered Sun offensive from Honored. So I think what I'm gonna do off camera with this character from now on is run through a few of the TBC dungeons, just so we can get gradually our reputation with all the fractions from Outlands up, just like we did with Kaylee. And here we're not just gonna do it for the funsies and the tabards, we're also gonna do it for the recipes. And now, what can we do? Oh yeah, major strength. Oh yeah, I remember this. This needs 12 arcane dust. Yeah, 12. This is why we can't have nice things, TBC, honestly. And if I remember correctly, we're gonna run out of skill points from this one just when it gets a little bit spicy. And also, I don't even know if I can do the profession quests on the Darkmoon Fair again, but I'll definitely check that one out before the Darkmoon Fair is gone tomorrow night again, I think. But for now, let's see what the library is able to teach us. Not much, I'd fear. Yep. just the Tomes of Outlands, and also the Void Sphere. This doesn't say so, but this is on a 2-day cooldown once you create one of these Void Spheres. The thing is, it's a old school 2 days cooldown, so it's not from one day ID to the next. No, it's actually the 48 hours. And this one will stay red until I think 70, and I'm gonna skill with that later, but for now I'm gonna do the major strength with the little bit of arcane dust that I have left, and then we're gonna see each other again in my favorite expansion. Alrighty, and here we are in Northrend, and first of all I have checked on the Darkmoon Fair, and yes, we can do the profession quests once again for profession points, so that's very nice. And also I've been running through a few TBC dungeons just for fun, and we have boosted up our reputation with a few of the Burning Crusade reputations, just like I said earlier. And also we were lucky and picked up a few recipes from the dungeons. Well, not this one, this is jewel crafting, but for example the Arcano Wave Bracers, which is a tailoring recipe. Not that exciting, even though I'm missing the transmog. But what is very exciting instead is that we also picked up a few of the Outland Enchanting recipes, and these, if I am not completely mistaken, we can skill with, which is real cool. So let's look at that for just a second. Oh yeah, there we go. Alright, now we have Fortitude, which we need 20 arcane dust and greater planar essences and large prismatic shards. Well, I'm definitely gonna grind this up later with, you know, the little creating tailoring items and disenchanting them. But for now, we are in Dalaran, and this is the Northrend Dalaran, and here we gonna talk to the tailoring trainer, and we're gonna learn everything that he has to teach us, and we also gonna do the cloth scavenging quest. And now, as you are probably aware of, because we've been doing this for quite some time now, we are also gonna check in with the bandage trainer over here, and now we're gonna do what a good tailoring prodigy does, and we're gonna be confused that we don't have any frostweave cloth anymore. Earlier I wasn't able to get to the guild bank again, so let's see. Yeah, that's also cool. Then I'll just pick up Frostweave Cloth from one of my other characters. So see you in a bit when I have skilled that stuff up. Oh yeah, there we go. Professional Northrend Master. Very nice, very nice. Let's, as always, learn a few recipes that we have, you know, jumped over. Oh yeah, Charles. Work for it. Work for it more. Now, because they finally made that account bound, we can also learn these special recipes. And now, what we also gonna do is we're gonna zoom over here, because the Northrend Enchanting is also something that is fairly, in quotation marks, easy to do, because we're gonna talk to this cutie pie. He's gonna teach us a lot of stuff. And now we know the first few recipes in Northrend Enchanting. Now, something that you're gonna notice if you talk to this man again is that after 50 he won't teach you anything anymore. But do not fret, because over here we have Vanessa Sellers, and she will, for the sweet price of dream shards and later also abyss crystals, sell you recipes. Now, you really want these recipes, and now you might say, ugh, dream shards. Well, those are blue items, and blue items are usually not that easily to create, even with tailoring. And to that I say yes, because I can show you right here. We could create some, but those items really need some more expensive materials. And sorry, I just started walking towards the Alliance base, because I've been playing a lot more Alliance the past few years than Horde. But there is a little loophole. You can talk to the Magistrax, and she sells you blue items for the price of 10 silver, and now you can just disenchant them, and ta-da, just like that, you get a dream shard. The other thing that you're gonna need an abundance of are either obviously dust and cosmetic essences or crystals, because in Northrend Enchanting, with no less than 15 enchanting skills, you can learn the Abyssal Shatter. And this one will turn, you won't believe it, Abyss crystals into the lesser items for enchanting. Now, this is very handy because this means that you don't necessarily need to go the very exhausting route of creating cloth items, then disenchanting them just to skill a little bit. As you can see, the abyssal crystals are relatively cheap on the auction house. Also, if you're cool like me, you have almost 200 on your guild bank. But this is basically all you need for Northrend enchanting, and the rest is basically just elbow grease to enchant, disenchant, get the items, and buy all the recipes from the vendor that I showed you. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now. And just like that, I've reached Northrend Enchanting 15 by just disenchanting all these gloves that I have in my inventory. And now I'm gonna quickly pick up the Abyssal Shatter from my profession trainer and a bunch of other recipes as well. Kabow. And now I'm gonna get my hands on the abyss crystals that are on my guild bank if I can, and if not, I might spend a little coin on the auction house. Oh damn, Kaylee is blessed. She's allowed to look onto the guild bank. Isn't that convenient? I can also not right click on stuff. I have to actually drag and drop it into my inventory. Yay! Also, I just realized this is something I've been wanting to tell you guys in case you don't know for I think ever since I started this channel, because it's a little transmog hack that I always love to do. If you have a class that you don't have much transmog with, you can run to the old Dalaran and go up here if you're on Horde side, or to, well, the counterpart on Alliance side on the little balcony. And first of all, they sell you items that are fitting with the season that they belong to, but they also sell you parts of a gladiator set, and these are always head, shoulder pieces, chest, gloves and legs, and this is the case for every single class that was around during Wrath. So for everything that isn't a demon hunter, monk or Dragthier. Well, the priest may not be the best example for this, but that's also personal taste. But I think that every class has at least one set that is really cool, and just like that you have 5 more sets with a class that you may have not played before. And also, if you have a few marks of honor to spare, you can just run down to the sewers in the old Dalaran, mind you, and pick up the missing parts, the belt and the shoes and the wrists down there if you really want to. Obviously, for cloth wearers, for example, you don't even need those items. You can just use a different belt and different shoes because you're wearing a robe that doesn't really show up. So maybe this is a cool trick for one of you guys. And now back to me disenchanting a lot of stuff. And now let's shatter that stuff. We need materials. And now here you can see with the very humble skill of 35, we can already buy our first recipe here. Some of them are absolutely useless if you want to skill with them because the materials for them are insane, but some others are super cheap. So if you don't want to spend all of your dream shards on this vendor, then you should probably just click through the recipes and see which one is the cheapest. But for now, I'm just gonna pick out something here that will give me a lot of skill points and then skill with that. Also, if you're not sure if the Abyssal Shatter is worth the materials, yeah it is. And now I'm also gonna... Okay, Cthulhu. I'm also gonna enchant these because I think they give you a nice coin at the auction house. And boom! Working in the cold. And now I'm gonna throw all of my leftover materials onto the auction house, and then we're gonna see each other in just a bit once I have acquired all of the arcane dust to also skill a little bit more of BC. Alrighty guys, I've created a lot of netherweave bolts and I disenchanted so many pants and bracers, you have no idea. But now, look at us. We are rich with arcane dust, and that's good because that means that we can create a few fortitude enchantments, and that's exactly what we're gonna do because we want to get as many skill points as possible before we go onto the Darkmoon Fair and get our fix 2 skill points. Very important if you also want to do this, because this is very nice if you want to hit those last few skill points on a profession. Let's say say that I on accident learned Cataclysm Enchanting and now Cataclysm Enchanting is on 1, but Outlines Enchanting is still on 70, I would get 2 skill points for Cataclysm Enchanting. The same thing goes for if you learn something in the Dragon Isles and then you never bother to go to level 100 in the Dragon Isles professions, you will always get those skill points for the Dragon Isles professions, never for the older ones. Don't ask me why Blizzard just not let you decide for which part of the professions you want the skill points. I don't know, maybe they think that no one cares about the old professions. Whatever. Alright, big moment of truth. Oh yeah, working in Hellfire. Through a little bit of dungeon running and getting a few reputations up, Outlands Enchanting is also not as scary as it might seem. And with all of these profession points in the bag, I'm gonna end today's episode right here and now. I hope that maybe I was able to show you a few little neat tips and tricks how to get a few of the professions up to the maximum skill points. I gotta say, I really enjoy these profession videos. I know they're probably not the most exciting and insane content, but hey, I know at least a few of you really like them. So please tell me in the comments if you want to see more of this, because there are so many more expansions, and especially for tailoring and enchanting, I have my little hacks that I like to do, and I absolutely wouldn't mind sharing them with you. In any case, if you like this video, please consider leaving a like and a comment. I appreciate it and it helps so much. And also, if you haven't subscribed yet, maybe also consider doing that. And with all of that being said, I hope I'm gonna see you in the next episode, and until then, bye bye!